reply. Walls too close, the world too wide. A ghost unseen, passing time. She wore her fears like second skin. Spoke to shadows, breathed them in. Dreamed of voices calling home. Somewhere she was not alone. She crossed the line from dark to seen. A spark against the dark inside. From the silence, a signal rose through the static. A thousand souls, we are the lost, the strange, the seen, united by the screen between. Raise your voice, you're not alone in these pixels. We found a home from broken nights to blazing dawns. Together we carry Days turned years, encoded skies. 10 winters passed before her eyes. Every stream a thread of trust, built from hope and honest dust. Names became more than a chat. Hearts behind each avatar shared their scars, their wins, their pain. Locked in just to feel okay. She learned that strength is letting show the cracks where hidden lights can glow. From the silence, a signal rose through the static. A thousand souls, we are the lost, the strange, the seen, united by the screen between. Raise your voice, you're not alone in these pixels. We found a home from broken nights to blazing dawns. Together we carry on. To the outcasts, the quiet minds. To the ones who never fit the lines. You are more than what they said, more than voices in your head. Hand in hand across the void, every tear and laugh deployed. In worlds we play, in truths we share. We heal each other everywhere. No throne of gold, no crown of flame, just human hearts behind the names. Not heroes born of flawless light, but those who stayed through every night. From the silence, a signal rose. Now a storm of beating souls. We are the lost, the strange, the seen, no longer trapped in between. Raise your voice, let it be known. Every screen's a stepping stone through boss fights, grief and healing scars. We shine like constellation stars. So if you're lonely, weird, unheard, if the world feels sharp, absurd, step through the dark. Take one small stand, you might just build a promised land. In the echo of shared dreams, we are more than we have been.
There we go. Hi everyone. Hey Captain Shotgun. Hey Final Chicken. Hey Clumsy. Hey Velcora. Hey Grim. Welcome in to our Donathon Day 1. I'm not used to doing commentary streams at this time. It's really an experiment, see if it works for us. I kind of like the idea of doing something like a bigger topic at this hour and then chilling with some gaming later. I think that might work out well for us. You want this shirt, right? I am not going to be selling that as my merch because it's stolen. but I thought it was funny to wear on my model. I think so. If you guys have any questions about how everything works, let me know. This is the first time that I'm doing an actual countdown. Let me get it started. See if everything actually works. Tangel was really kind to donate yesterday. So I'm counting that. That's why we're at 2 hours and 51 minutes. So let me make sure that everything works. So I go here and I resume. Okay, and now it's counting down. Haha. Hey Harley. Get the hot and heavy stuff done first, then chill with this. Exactly. Hasan commented with the shirt as well. Kind of is, isn't it? I'm gonna warn you guys right now. A lot of the stuff that we're gonna be watching regarding Hasan Piker is very political. And I don't really get into politics on the channel. What we'll be focusing on instead is the person behind the opinions. And maybe some of the opinions. But we're not exactly hoping to dive into the politics of it all. But obviously it's very politically heavy. And especially the more recent stuff that's happening around Hasan Piker. Yo, Valcora with the 50 gifted! Oh my gosh, it better add this. Okay, it's adding it. It's adding it, because I'm like, I will not be able to do the math for 50 sub memberships. Thank you so much! Look at it just go up, and up, and up, and up. Thank you, holy crap. A lot of people in the chat getting memberships. Yo, what a wall! What a way to start the stream. Thank you so much. Holy crappers! It's 5 shots? I was not preparing for shots today? Totally deserved though, oh my gosh. Although, doing shots while commenting on Hasan Piker might not be the best idea. Hey Cassie! Yo, you know what's cool about this? All of these 50 people are getting notified that they got a membership. So wait. Did it stop adding? That doesn't sound right. Yeah, it still says, yeah. I don't like this. This is making it very hard. No. Like, am I supposed to do math now? We hit all the goals, totally. Right. Yo, hey Chrissy, welcome in. I might have to do some math later then. How much is 50? It did count. It was supposed to, but it's a little messy. So let me show you guys how it works. No, wait. So the way that I have put this, it says under values that a membership on YouTube should be 180 seconds. But that's not what it's doing, is it? Maybe gifted memberships are working different, but there's no option for that on here, so that sucks. Might have to add these manually. That's rough. How does the timer stuff work? So hopefully, you know, which it doesn't, it should be doing everything automatically. It should be accepting super chats. It should be accepting memberships. It should be accepting donations on Ko-Fi and then all the Twitch side as well. So it should be doing everything automatically. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that's what it's doing. Let's see on here. Yeah, I gotta have the point of all these widgets is that we don't have to do math. You know? So let me fix the 2000. I go to settings. How much did you spend, Belcora? I can do. Nice top, you like it? I'm gonna have to keep track of how many compliments I get for my shirt. and then put you guys on some kind of blacklist. I'm kidding. Ah! 150. Okay, okay, okay. I'm kidding. Yo, Mr. Boom Boom Pat with the 1 gifted. Thank you. I appreciate you. I should not just be adding... Okay. Did it just add 2 minutes? That sounds more correct. I think at least it's doing the individual. It's doing the individual memberships better than the gifted ones. I'm gonna have to adjust that later. For now, with the 2000. Does it let me... Oh, right. They're 2 different things. Sorry, guys. Thank you, Mr. Boom. I appreciate that. I'm gonna get this out of the way so that I can... Starting time. But why does it... So if I do this... Do it manually, which sucks. Shouldn't be the case. Oh, I think... Could it be because they're still coming in on screen? I don't think so, because they're not adding anything anymore. I think it might be the whole because I'm having a separate timer for the gaming and the commentary section. So maybe it's like maybe I haven't set it up correctly. So that's the 50, and now I have to add... I should be able to do this. So if I go add points, and then 150. Yeah, there is an increment cap. It's being but there's a command that I can use. What if I do this on the Twitch side? Yeah, okay. So I was able to add it. We're at 200, 203 out of 2,000, and we're only less than 50 away for our first goal. And then I can show you guys the merch design. There we go. It's all your fault. No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's my fault. It's definitely my fault. I think I know what happened, though. So at least I know how to fix it, potentially. Yeah, I think so. I think I know how to fix it. And this is why we can't have nice things. Yeah, if only I was better at math to begin with, you know? All right, are you guys ready to get into the... Did I miss anything? Oh yeah, I have to adjust the timer, right? I'll adjust it after stream since we have our 2 hours guaranteed today. I'll make sure to adjust the timer later on my own time without the pressure, you know? So I'll do that later, I promise. Thank you, Riley. Appreciate that. We're gonna get into the Hasan Piker stuff. You guys ready for this? I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready. All right. Here we go. We're first going to... Okay, so we're not going through the journey of Hasan Piker just yet. We could, but that's not what we're doing today. Today, we're getting specifically into what he's been up to recently and why... what kind of trouble he's gotten into. So let me just position myself appropriately with my arms crossed, and let's get it started.
Over the Memorial Day weekend, according to Fox News, a federal
He's been a naughty boy. That's right. That's right. Especially the US government thinks so, you know?
officials sent a subpoena to live streamer Hasan Piker. Before, quoting the article, as a part of a wider investigation into whether U.S. organizations and leaders violated U.S. laws and sanctions in supporting Cuba's communist regime. Immediately, this sent the internet into an uproar, with some online celebrating, saying that this is a good thing as Hasan is anti-American and many more things, with others saying that they are principally against this and that the government shouldn't go after live streamers when we have the Epstein.
Americans realizing they can get arrested for delivering food to a starving country, but every PDF in the Epstein files is still free.
List is still ongoing. Hasan also got into a back and forth with journalists who were
an uproar. Stop! I'll be doing that on stream now.
Hired to watch his stream, calling them stalkers and psychos, along with bringing up Nick Shirley for going to Cuba and actually staying in an illegal hotel, claiming he himself did not break that law. But there's lots to get into, so let's just jump in. Welcome to the internet versus Hasan's subpoena. It starts when various accounts tweet out about the subpoena, like remarks that post of federal officials to subpoena political streamer Hasan Piker. And Pat replies, they saw him talking to Elon's ex and were like, oh shit, he's getting a bit too close. Better fabricate something against him. And Aftershock says, your first thought is really to that and not him calling for death on a sitting senator, defending terrorists, or supporting our enemies? Damn, Hasan's really got you by the balls, lol. Himbo Supreme says, only the brainwashed to think this is good. Exposing what America has subjected Cuba to is righteous and just. The people of Cuba will live free from America one day. And Millie says, yeah, suck that terrorist harder. And Himbo Supreme says, that's what you're doing to your terrorist Western leaders. Bouncing on.
So obviously, as I said, it's very politically, heavy. However, I think it's so extreme the way that they're like, the terms that they're choosing to use against each other, right? So Hasan is anti-American, which also means he's by default a terrorist, and you know, all those things. Oh, definitely not iVixey for president. Oh, no. Distress. Oh, no.
On their decks and defending their cruelty. Roseark quote tweets the post by
saying, can you imagine a VTuber as president? Who cares about women for president? Let's put a VTuber on there.
I remember a few years ago when Biden bots told me that they couldn't just arrest libs of TikTok because of a constitution or whatever. Lamau. Matt Nuclear says he should be arrested, not subpoenaed. Hasan Mafi quotes the post by saying, Americans realizing that they can
replace the flag with Vixie's face.
Arrested for delivering food to a starving country, but every on the Epstein files is still free. Joe quotes the post by saying, and this is how you turn Hasan Piker into a national figure. Midas quotes the post with this screenshot of a post by Popstonics where Ashley St. Clair and Hasan are in a clip together, and the caption, Ashley St. Clair gives Hasan Piker a hoodie that says, I'm not the stepdad, I'm the dad that stepped up, and Midas says, Elon made the boss call. Rock Solid quotes the post with this edit of Hasan as Homelander in the caption, please Donald, I'll do anything. I'll fuck your, you want me to eat your I'll eat your in front of my entire Twitch chat. Aurelia replies by saying, so are we calling it McCarthyism again, or are we naming it after somebody else this time?
That's the president's speech with that dolphin shirt. Oh no.
Imperium first quote
just keeps getting worse.
The post is saying Hasan Piker incites violence for years. Nothing happens. Tries to copy Nick Fuentes. Gets subpoenaed a week later. Giannis says from the backyard to the tree, Kaya will be free. Chibi Reviews quotes the post by saying justice makes me happy seeing someone that laughed at my misery months ago getting karma. John Wakefield quotes remarks by saying, imagine, will you pardon ex-streamer and now convicted terrorist Hasan Piker as a Democratic debate question in 2028? Over on our
you used to like him a lot, really, Cassie. What makes you like him?
/livestream fail on Reddit, Aromatic U post this tweet.
His opinions probably became a lot more extreme throughout the years. That's usually how that goes.
With the caption, federal official subpoena political streamer Hasan Piker. Board replies, can anyone explain what for? And Weemiop says, potential sanctioned violations over his group's trip to Cuba. Part of a larger investigation into Neville Singham and foreign influence groups in the US. And Angel of Fallen says, and worth mentioning, Hasan is not the target here. They believe Singham and crew just used this group to help funnel cash illegally to the Cuban government. And Cynical Zennial says, did they also have hands in the China trip? X stab on my knees says, oh god, he's going to get such a big ego out of being this big bad political target. And Rusty Butter India says, can you guys put aside your hate boner for one moment, Lamau? How is this your first thought upon seeing something like this? And Moody Tenure says, mental illness.
iVixey delivers the State of the Union to Twitch subs only.
And Tide Plum replies, the cry bullying is magical. He's not gonna go to jail. He's MAGA's greatest asset. Meadow Gutter says, kinda hilarious how all the Americans here don't realize how similar this is to what usually happens in dictatorships, and instead are fighting each other because they dislike this guy. All I know is that he shocks his dog, so I am with them on this. And one drama, instead of realizing what like this means for their supposed democracy.
All I know is that he shocks his dog, so I'm with him on this. Yeah, that... Oh, man. A lot of people just comment and saying, oh, he did something to me, so I'm glad he's having trouble now, but they're not actually discussing the issue as to why he's being subpoenaed.
The fall of
Like, people don't even care why he's in trouble. They're like, oh, this guy is awful, so I'm happy he's miserable right now.
Is nothing to what is happening to America, and it's glorious to see. You can't wait for the Civil War. Global average IQ is going to spike so hard. And Aegean says, Hasan wants that dictatorship though, so let him feel
Yeah, we should have a scale cam, but you gotta trust me.
Yo, it added that one automatically. iVixey for leader of our European Parliament. Yo, at least that's a little closer to me. So it's not adding on the other one. Let me make sure to do that. So that is 2. There we go. Right? Okay, cool.
effects, lol. Why be pressed over
Thank
terrible people?
you.
It's not like this is something new with Trump's government. Stu Smith tweets out this clip with the caption, breaking. Hasan Piker addresses the reported Treasury investigation on his livestream, and even he admits the news is not great. Then Stu just quotes the clip and then says, for all the bravado, Hasan clearly understands this is serious.
And I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's not great. The news is not great. Okay. I mean, it's bullshit.
You should make the National Chalky Milk Day. Oh, I like that. National Chalky Milk Day. Everyone has to drink chalky milk.
But still not great that, you know, they're after your boy. They're up my ass. And I'll obviously get into it right now. I'll tell you all about it, but let me blast off real quick. We will free you, brother. Yeah, free me. Free me. Free me. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Then Stu continues his thread by saying, Hasan Piker says he found out about the reported federal subpoena from a Fox News producer, not from the government. According to Hasan, he got a voicemail saying he had been subpoenaed and asking for comments. Before he could respond, the article was already on the timeline.
On the other hand, got a text message, or rather a voicemail, from a Fox News producer saying that I had been subpoenaed by the federal government. And I was like, that's strange.
Yeah.
Asking for comment. And before I could even respond to the journalist, an article materialized on the timeline.
No notification? How dare? Not cool, man. Not cool. Hey, Andrea. Well, you found us.
I'm going to be talking about that in a little bit. But let's just say that kind of my whole night up.
And Stu continues as saying Hasan calls the scrutiny pure evil, then casually acknowledges
No, I think he's in a hotel or something, Grim.
his photo with Code Pink co-founder Jody Evans, who is also reportedly under investigation. Then quotes the clip and says he also mocks the DSA connection, quoting it, and continues Hasan has gone back and forth on DSA. At times,
The thing people need to remember, none of this means he's being accused of anything at this time. It's for information gathering. It could lead to them building a case against him or others. From what yeah, exactly. A lot of people like to jump to conclusions to, oh, he's gonna go to jail and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, this is a very preliminary, thing. You know, getting subpoenaed is just asking for information, like Balcora said. So it's not anything to be like, oh, he's getting in trouble, he's going to prison, he's such a bad guy, blah, blah, blah. It's just, it could get him in trouble, obviously, but we do not know that yet.
distancing himself as more of a fan than a member, while also embracing the brand, wearing the merch, and promoting the broader ecosystem. So I understand why Fox frame him as a DSA adjacent, and I also understand why Hasan wants to push back on being described as a headline member. But the connection is not imaginary. DSA's own NPC has credited Hasan with helping drive merchandise sales, which tells you they see his platform as valuable, whether or not he wants the formal label.
To deliver humanitarian aid to an island nation that we have starved and caused tremendous suffering to. Incredible. So yeah, I mean, what can you say? It's just pure evil, I guess. According to a Fox News digital investigation, Singham has pumped $278 million into nonprofit groups that have pushed pro-China, pro-Cuba, anti-U.S. narratives and street protests for almost a decade since his marriage in February 2017 to Code Pink co-founder Jody Evans, who's also being investigated for her role in the March trip. Code Pink received $1.3 million from Singham.
But they don't subpoena other streamers or content creators, makes you go, Well, he's not getting subpoenaed for a content creation stunt, so to speak. It is because of something specific that he did as a person, right? and we will get into that. He also made a video to defend himself and remind people of Cuba's situation.
After he married,
we're gonna go through all of that.
Evans. This is Jody Evans, who I took a photo with. They love this photo for some reason. I don't know why. She's one of the co-founders of Code Pink. She's wonderful, and it's like all of this investigation, at least the high notes, make it seem like they just saw stuff on like New York Post and on Twitter and were like, oh, this must be valid.
I doubt that.
In mid-March, organizations in the Singham Network, from the Venceremos Brigade to People's Forum, a hub for communist cause in New York City, were leaders of the Nuestra American Convoy, which included an estimated 650 delegates from 33 countries and 120 organizations. Organizations include the Democratic Socialists of America, a U.S. nonprofit that promotes Piker as a headline member. By the way, that's so funny. The DSA does not promote me as a headline member. But, you know.
I think the fact that you are a content creator documenting the entire journey, the fact that you are so vocal about certain aspects, even if you're not the headline member, your activities online sort of make you very relevant in a situation or in an investigation like this, you know? It makes you an easy target.
Good. We ball.
And finally, Stu adds this clip to his thread by saying, Hasan responded to my clip of him bragging about throwing wads of cash around in Cuba by insisting none of it was illegal. I have a thread of National Lawyers Guild clips on this exact issue, including their own advice for Americans traveling to Cuba. And attached is this post with this clip and the caption, "It is pretty funny knowing my tweets are up behind Hasan in what will inevitably become a viral clip of him saying, I will come rotting for the rest of my life in a federal penitentiary." Hasan was responding to me flagging his own comments about partying in Cuba with a kneecap and walking around spinning wads of cash. He insists none of that was illegal. I beg to differ. I'll be posting clips from a National Lawyers Guild panel below where the lawyers discuss this exact issue.
This guy from the Manhattan Institute thinks the subpoena is because of your wads of cash comment.
He's been living.
Yeah, it's not illegal. It's literally not illegal to bring cash and give, and purchase things in Cuban businesses.
It's not even that it's illegal, it's that it's suspicious and therefore warrants a investigation, you know? Something doesn't have to be illegal for it to cause suspicion.
Or even give it straight up on the street if you want to give it out to people. That's literally a normal tourism function. There's a humanitarian purpose beyond it as well. None of this is illegal, guys. I always found it odd.
If it were illegal, you would be getting arrested, and that's not the case. You're being subpoenaed.
That when Hasan got off the plane in Cuba, one of the first people waiting to take a selfie with him was Jody Evans, Neville Roy Singham's wife and Code Pink co-founder. I don't know. Maybe because she was one of the people that was on the... She's a part of the Code Pink organization. And Code Pink was also there. Like, they were also, you know, putting... I don't even know the exact details, but they were also part of organizing the trip together. What? I know you usually let the work of rallying the orgs you support, but in case they try to bring you to court, you should definitely consider coordinating with orgs you've been pushing and try to publicly mobilize your community and not only your defense, but use yourself as an example that the admin is hunting down real...
Oh my god, he really does read quick.
pro-American voices like Medea. Show them that your emotion goes beyond being a Twitter power user that's buddies with Elon's exes. Dude.
Buddies with Elon's exes. This goes so beyond, dude.
Sometimes I welcome rotting for the rest of my life in a federal penitentiary rather than having to deal with long-term community members who have like unbelievably snide remarks even in this
I don't think you mean that, buddy.
moment.
Marco Foster then tweets out this clip with the caption, Hasan Piker
Yo, Trucker, I had to bring it back to 1x speed because he talks so fast.
on Cuba.
We didn't actually stay at the wrong hotel. That was just something that people made up on Twitter, except for an American citizen who recently did violate OFAC and stayed at a hotel that America does not allow American citizens to stay in. It wasn't me, though. It was Nick Shirley. Literally, the hotel that Nick Shirley was in was actually on the state sponsor of terrorism list. Okay?
That is crazy.
We obviously didn't stay at a hotel that we obviously didn't stay at a
Hey, Chunky!
hotel that the American government has made illegal to stay in.
Look at those cute emotes. You can use them now for at least a month.
Nick Shirley, on the other hand, whether because he's a idiot or because, it doesn't really matter what he does because he's basically an agent for the state, did stay in a hotel that was illegal for him to stay in. I personally think it's idiotic. You should be able to stay in whatever hotel you want to, by the way. I think it's a totally ridiculous restriction imposed upon Americans and Americans only, mind you. Right? It's hilarious that the mouth-breathing rightoid accidentally violated.
So if I were to go to Cuba, I can go to any hotel I want, right? Because I'm not an American.
U.S. Treasury rules, yet they're targeting the scary Marxists for literally following the law. Yeah. But yeah, if this is the investigation, that's hilarious. This is just like headline chase.
Okay, according to public statements, it's believed that delegation members stayed at a hotel the U.S. State Department has put on a Cuba restrict list as businesses directly tied to the communist government of Cuba designated a state sponsor of terrorism. Okay, so from the U.S. government's perspective, when you go to Cuba and you go to specific hotels, you are considered aligning yourself with terrorism because, the businesses are tied to the communist government of Cuba. That is holy crap.
The federal government got clickbaited by Twitter
iVixey Cuba vlog, dude.
headlines.
And Dan Tremblay says he is now lying. Piker stated the only hotel that had electricity during a blackout.
I don't know about politics to avoid specific hotels. I can imagine that when you travel from the US to Cuba, you are hopefully warned about these things at some point. Probably, I'm not sure who would be responsible for warning you, but I would expect you not to have to know that, That's very specific.
And Dirty D's replies, how does the hotel having electricity change the fact that it was one allowed by the US government for citizens to stay in? And then Pop Sinox also posts about it saying Hasan Piker says Fox News has fallen for a fake tweet claiming he stayed in a sanctioned hotel in Cuba. And Drainen replies to this meme, staying in a Cuban hotel, a Turkish Twitch streamer, and then a character.
I know there's been cases of people being attacked by sonic weapons at some hotels in Cuba allegedly. Just in case that's not where I'm going on vacation. Pete with the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you. Look at the timer go up. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh my gosh. We had a 50 bomb earlier, another 10 now. So many people are getting memberships. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Freaking out with a MAGA hat, and then staying in Cuban hotel, illiterate Mormon virgin, and the character blushing. Kyle Sloppy says, a hotel that America does not allow citizens to stay in. Freest country in the world, folks. And Eugene says, yes, we have a problem with the country.
Oh, let me be very clear about, so we're not doing so we have 3 hours on the counter right now, right? We are not doing the 3 hours today. What happens is I'm going to be guaranteeing 2 hours every single day until the timer runs out. So this means that tomorrow we have a stream. If it gets over 2 hours again tomorrow, we do another stream on Friday, and so on, so on, so on. Yeah, it rolls over to other streams. However, the gaming and the commentary counter are different. So it's kind of a little bit of a competition at the same time between the gaming channel and the commentary channel. See who lasts longer, Yo, hey Alice, welcome in.
That steal from us $25 billion worth of stuff. And Kyle says, my brother in Christ, this country was founded on theft. Eyes on Islamism says, except this isn't why he's being investigated. Valiant attempt at running cover for a foreign asset, seeking the destruction of the West though. Expected nothing less from the bootlickers behind this account. Kareem quotes Pop Sinox by saying, when he's cleared of any wrongdoing, I hope he sues the hell out of Fox News for defamation of character. Jake Chinatown quotes the post by saying, Nick Shirley has committed the greatest crime of all time, the stuff they thought Hasan did. Socialist Adri tweets out this clip with the caption, Hasan clarifies that despite what the Fox News article says, he has not been served with an official subpoena. The article was just his introduction to awareness of the subpoena. He has not heard anything official yet.
Any chance that unhinged Fox News author made it up? Probably not. But again, I don't know because I haven't received a subpoena, so I have no idea. I don't know. So
Yo,
there's
guys,
that side of this.
I added the points from the memberships, and we are 15. We're $15 away from our first milestone. We're getting so
Story
close.
as well. Not an ideal way to add to your lore.
Guys, calculate it. Listen.
No. You can't pay for this kind of publicity, fam. Okay, guys, I'll be honest. I prefer not to have this publicity.
Hasan also makes a post on his page saying, every centrist blue MAGA who celebrates these subpoenas is a moron. They think you're all communists. They're coming for you too.
Blue MAGA. Dude, I can't even keep up. I feel so dumb.
Kamala and Hillary lost to Trump because they tried to present themselves as moderate.
MAGA's red, right? So what is a blue MAGA? Is a blue MAGA someone that's like...
Yeah, we should have a scale cam, but you gotta trust me.
I find this story shocking, but not as shocked as Kyo was for standing up.
Yo, I don't even know who that is. Thank you for the 15 bucks! Oh my gosh. Let me add that. I have to do it manually, unfortunately. Oh, Kaya! Kaya's the dog? Oh, I didn't even know. Dude, I didn't even know that Kaya was the dog. My bad. I'm like cuddling with the dog on my thumbnail, and I didn't know she was called Kaya. Thank you guys for getting us to the first milestone. Gonna do a little thing. Ta-da! Yo, now we have a new milestone. Yeah, Blue MAGA sounds like it's like, as he says, it's more central. So a red MAGA would be, you know, the right, and then a blue MAGA would be more towards the center. But I mean, holy crap, all those words just to say one thing. Thank you again, Valcora. Should I show it now before we keep going? Should I show it now? Should I publish it? I can go publish it right now. Let me go do that. Okay. Oh, Clumsy with the 5 gifted. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Let me. That's a lot happening at once. Let me see. So we add another 15 points. Thank you, Clumsy. Thank you. Okay, so if I now go to the store. It is officially out, guys. This is the merch for season 4. You guys like it? It comes in different colors. They're all dark colors. There's a little cow on the sleeve. Like that. I hope you guys like the design. It's very different from the previous ones. And it's kind of celebrating the commentary channel, because I was always just a gaming channel before. So now we have like gaming here and drama here, and it's like little cartons kind of referencing the lol cows and everything. Yeah. You only wear dark colors? Makes sense. Most people. If I look at all the orders that we've had through the Fourth Wall website, most people will buy dark colors, so I didn't really bother with the light color option this time around. And then there's also a hoodie, which I don't know if you why would you would buy that now, because it's like it's getting warm now. But yeah, there's also an option with also a pink color, because you know it is light, but I do love my pink, so I did add that in there. Purple. Yeah, limited edition. It's limited edition because every time that we come out with a new season, we take out the old season. So you can no longer purchase season 3, 2, and 1. Probably can now because I haven't changed it, but yeah. This was a season 3 shirt. Always different style, always different artists, so I think that's also fun. That purple is clean, right? I love it. There's also a journal that I decided to add this year. Thought it was cute. All right. And that's the season 4 merch design reveal. Thank you guys so much. We're doing so good. Let's get back to Hasan Piker.
Establishment candidates. It was the Dim Party's failure that gave us Trump twice. The Dims and its free consultants on this website are entirely out of touch with the base and diametrically opposed to its demands. Pro-Israel Dims have no real constituency but represent most of the political and media class. Blue MAGA is crying a lot lately because left-flank candidates that are for M4A and anti-Israel are winning insurgent races in the Dim primaries, and this makes a lot of the blue MAGA folk on here scared. I tried posting on Twitter and it didn't work.
Thank you,
Trump
Tucker.
can take of my problem. And Angwinrind replies, when they came for Hasan Piker, I did nothing, for I was too busy laughing at Hasan Piker. LAC replies with this meme of Kaya saying, tell Hasan, I want him to know it was me. Hasan Productions meme.
That's actually so good. Tell Hasan I want him to know it was me.
Hasanabi Productions meme account replies, they think the Trump admin is going to simply stop at Hasan, and attaches this screenshot that says, the Trump administration isn't only targeting organizations or groups, but even individuals and entities whom NSPM 7 says can be identified by any of the following indicia: indicators of violence, anti-Americanism, anti-capitalism, anti-Christianity, support for the overthrow of the United States government, extremism on migration, extremism on race, extremism on gender, hostility towards those who hold traditional American views on family, hostility towards those who hold traditional American views on religion, and hostility towards those who hold traditional American views on morality. Chris Cadence quoted Hasan's post by saying, man's got subpoenaed by MAGA and still finds a way to make it about Democrats. Truly a remarkable grifter in prime form. Phil that remains says, very few in the establishment left are defending Hasan, and it's bothering him. Popstanos also tweets out this clip with the caption, Hasan Piker responds to critics' claims Cuba paid him to cover the U.S. oil blockade starving the country.
This is why.
Yes, you can order it to the U.S. They have their main warehouses in the U.S. So mostly the people who should worry about ordering something are usually from the EU. However, every time that I make a new product, I'm usually careful with that. The way that you can check is you can see in more details, I believe. Does it not say here? Usually it says it is, yeah, sourced from the USA. Here it says, I thought it said more. I think it usually tells me that it's shipped from the US and the EU. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure that this hoodie as well as a t-shirt, they're both available to be shipped from the US and from the EU. So wherever you're from, if you're from one of those two options, obviously, then you get it shipped within Europe or within US, so you can avoid having to pay extra for customs. Oh, they just bought you the journal. That's so cute. I think I'm gonna get it for myself too. It's so cute. I love that. This was a new item. I'm not sure, but usually if the US, you guys are like golden because everything comes from the US, and then they also have warehouses in the EU, but not everything gets manufactured there, so Yeah, so if anything, the EU peeps have to worry a little bit, but usually not with the sweaters and not with the t-shirts. With something like a desk mat, or like specific kinds of trousers or whatever, that might be an issue. But for the US, not really. Definitely, you should be able to check. Usually, they usually say if it's shipped from the US or not, but I can also check for you guys later.
It's this is why it's insane, but also kind of funny in a weird way. Whenever people are like, "Oh, I bet you're getting paid by the Cuban government," bro, they don't have money. With what money? What would it like? What?
Yeah. So, for example, for the desk mats, you do have to pay extra for customs and taxes when it's shipped from the US to the EU. So usually, when I buy something from Fourth Wall, I try to make sure that it comes from the EU so that doesn't happen. But for example, with the desk mat, I've had to pay customs because they don't make them here.
You think they got money? Are you insane? It's one of those things where I can't tell if people are just like so used to only at advancing causes for monetary reasons, like they just can't possibly fathom the idea that someone would want to genuinely help the Cuban population, genuinely demand that we stop, killing Cubans with our economic terrorism, right? Like, what money do they have to give me money? You know what I mean? It's very stupid.
And Apple Lamps replies, "Are Democrats this dumb? Gesa is sitting on 18 billion of assets, but not 1 cent goes to the people of Cuba. The communist regime has robbed the people blind." And Henry Bishop replies, "Imagine falling to our CIA agitprop." Bering tweets out this clip with the caption, "He probably shouldn't have said that."
I want to go to Cuba. Would you be down?
I love Cuba.
Oh yeah, you'd be down?
Yeah, I filmed a documentary there once.
The Cuban government actually hit my contact from the embassy and told him that if the only thing stopping us from coming to Cuba was the consistent internet access, we can make it happen.
Yeah, Cuba is sick.
Wait,
We
like
could-
the government reached out to you?
So yeah, of course. It's well, not reach out to me. There's like there's a middleman there.
Okay.
Because I had a doctor from Cuba. Cuba does this thing called medical missions. And they've been doing it since I believe like the 70s, and it's incredibly successful. They have a massive, very robust like medical program because kind of they have to because they're under an incredible sanctions regime by the United States of America that the rest of the world thinks is abhorrent, except for America and Israel that keep consistently vetoing it over and over again.
And David Perez replies, "Cuba does not have a robust medical system. Their hospitals are such shit that if you get admitted, you literally have to bring your own bed sheets and blankets. Hasan is a piece of shit at the highest level. Oh, and how do I know this? I literally have family in Cuba right now." Jamie Cook replies to the clip by saying, "What?" He spoke to a doctor from Cuba who hooked him up with the government. So he did 2 things here. 1, he exposed the Cubans using their doctor exchange program to replace intelligence assets in other countries. And 2, he exposed that he's too stupid to—
Okay, are you guys still surprised that he's being subpoenaed? I mean, come on.
realize that his Cuban handler was playing him as a propaganda resource. What a silly little rich kid. Cider replies to the clip with this picture in the caption, "Loudest slurping possible." Hasan
It has to be the first person who ever said I love Cuba. Maybe he thought it was talking about somewhere else. Maybe it wasn't Cuba he was talking about.
still doesn't get it. This guy was trying to save him. Kaivan Shroff tweets out this clip with the caption, "Maybe he'll prove me wrong." Hasan Piker whines that Zoran Mamdani isn't intervening over his federal subpoena.
As well, you might need Zoran magic for this one. Yeah, okay, dude. Yeah, I don't think Zoran Mamdani is going to be doing that anytime soon because I'm not a concerning incident that took place in the New York City region of America. You know what I mean? Highly doubt it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll prove me wrong.
And Lilith Lavette quote tweets the post by saying, "He's a mayor of a city. The f is Zoran gonna do?" Vigilante Lib quote tweets the post with this screenshot in the caption, "Same vibe," and it's a post by June Moon Loon who says, "Casey Tron received no support from Hasan Piker during the lawsuit with Ethan Klein." Palmir Parr says, "No one is prepared for just how easily Hasan would squeal on every operation his sphere has
Oh, okay. Thank you, Belcoro.
has going on, Lamau. Stu Smith also then tweets out this clip with the caption, Hasan names Singham, PSL, Answer, and Code Pink in one breath. On stream today, Hasan Piker discussed the reported Treasury scrutiny and said the broader target is probably Singham and his operation, naming PSL, Party for Socialism and Liberation, Answer Coalition, Code Pink, and anything that he has ever financed. He then acknowledged that Roy Singham lives in China and has been a funding vehicle for political movements and activism in the United States. This is exactly why this matters. This was never just about one influencer's Cuba trip. It is about the Singham-linked ecosystem, the groups it funds, the delegations it supports, and the political operations built around them. Hasan didn't refute the network. He mapped it.
I think that ultimately the target is probably Singham and his operation, from PSL to Answer Coalition to Code Pink, like anything that he has ever financed. And it's not new. It's been around for a while, but it's obviously it's held through regardless, because like it's ridiculous, right? It's like totally ridiculous to try and you know, to try and stop like the political advocacy of an American citizen, right? Roy Singham is a American citizen. He lives in China now, and he's a centimillionaire. I think he like has almost $1 billion. Not sure how much money he has now, but like he's been a funding vehicle for a lot of like political movements in the country, like a lot of activism, and they hate that shit. Like the American government hates that shit. They're trying to jam him up, you know. They're trying to hit him on anything and everything they possibly can. That's it. That's the goal here. That's the broader goal.
And Laura Midian replies, this dude's father was probably one of the few Sri Lankans in the entire state of Connecticut in 1954, and his son turned out to be one of the most malevolent anti-white extremists alive. Another stunning success for non-white immigrant assimilation. And then they attach this picture here of Singham along with this section, attaching this screenshot from Singham's Wikipedia that says Singham's father, Archibald Singham, was a Sri Lankan. In his youth, Singham was a member of the League of Revolutionary Black Workers, a black nationalist Maoist group, taking a job at a Chrysler plant in Detroit in 1972 as an activist in the group. He attended Howard University before starting a consulting firm for equipment leasing companies from his Chicago home. And Plenifex says, did this really go on stream and admit that he's a foreign agent of the CCP? And Data Republican quotes the post by saying, wait until you hear about his personal friend David Alder of Progressive International and the Hague Group. Hint hens. Weekend Warrior quotes the post by saying, your boy a snitch. Boogie says, it took a piece of paper for him to admit he's a foreign government asset with ties to astroturfed political activist groups funded by billionaires. Hasan quotes the post by saying, everything revealed is available on Wikipedia, but this Manhattan Institute weirdo paid to clip farm my stream writes a sinister summary.
Yeah, different
Boogie. And every single moron on this website starts hallucinating that there's a comprehensive investigation and I'm snitching. This website is making everyone on it dumber and prone to hallucination. Tim also quotes the post by saying, bro is a snitch. Wow. And Hasan replies, nothing here is a crime, you moron. It's all publicly available information and claims made by the government. Why are you getting duped by a Manhattan Institute guy's sinister framing? Are you mentally stable? Are you a government agent? And Bobby says, Tim is most likely not a real human. And then Tim replies, hilarious for you to say this while having a picture of a faceless man as your PFP. Henry Fjord then tweets out these two tweets with a thinking emoji showing Nick Fuentes saying, if Trump wants to win us back, putting Hasan Piker in prison forever would be a good start, along with Laura Loomer also saying, President Trump can unite the entire country by having Hasan Piker arrested. It's his destiny. And Hasan quotes the post by saying, judge me by my enemies. And Acid Chicken says, lol, rather judge you by your friends, showing his controversial interview. And Muff replies, further evidence the US is a failed state when the feds are investigating Twitch streamers as opposed to clients and co-conspirators of Epstein. All of the low IQ, mouth-breathing, Kool-Aid chugging MAGA tards out here clapping like seals. And Jason says, your boy boy defends the Islamic child rapists all over the world, like the Houthis, Hezbollah, IRGC, and Hamas. This guy supports every one of our enemies. So sit down and shut up. This clip also started making the rounds that John Marlin tweets out with the caption, "Reminder that Hasan hoped that Adam Schiff was sent to prison when Trump invented charges against him. Hasan acknowledges that the charges were purely political and that he didn't care. I just think we should match Hasan's energy."
Part of that.
Oh my God.
Part of that is.
Oh my God. Senator Adam Schiff under federal criminal investigation for alleged mortgage fraud violations. Oh my God. I hope they arrest him. Oh my God. I hope he goes to prison. Oh my God. I hope he goes to prison. Oh, I hate him so much. Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, this is political. Sure, I don't care. Lock him up. Lock him up.
And Center Sender replies, "Be better than him. It's
Hey,
not that
Morgan.
difficult." And John says, "I'm a liberal. I'm already better than him." And that guy Kurt says, "Scratch a liberal, a fascist bleeds. You dumb sure make that saying true every time." Zach B quotes the clip by saying, "Hasan fans will look you dead in the eye and tell you this is out of context." And Hasan replies, "I'll gladly apologize if my Senator Adam Schiff lifts a pinky finger to defend his anti-Zionist constituent and democracy. He certainly didn't care when my friends were being tortured in an Israeli prison. Why would he care if I go to an American one?" And Ben Shapiro's biceps says, "Oh, so you're okay with politically based bogus investigations as long as you don't like the person. Got it." And Rendauser says, "That's not even close to his stance." And Ben Shapiro's biceps replies, "He literally put a condition for apology for supporting Trump's bogus investigation of Adam Schiff. It's literally what he wrote. He supports Trump going after his opponents." And Rendauser says, "Brother, Hasan's stance has always been sending people after political enemies over claims and nonsense is a terrifyingly slippery slope that we're already sliding down that leads us straight to authoritarian rule." And Ben Shapiro's biceps says, "Then why did he celebrate Trump going after Adam Schiff for bogus claims of mortgage fraud?" And Ohio Hogwatch says, "You'll be in the camps alongside Hasan, fool." And Ben Shapiro's biceps says, "Wow, it's almost as if praising Trump for bogus investigations is always a bad thing." Back to Hasan's reply, Brink replies to Hasan by saying, "Just to be clear, you're now begging the senator that you unironically cheered to be politically prosecuted by Trump, something for which you haven't yet apologized, to help you avoid being politically prosecuted by Trump. And you're still being an entitled little shit about it." Actually replies to Hasan by saying, "Hasan, that's not how morality works. For example, I oppose Trump prosecuting you without you ever doing something I like." Mr. Mooten quotes Hasan by saying, "Don't you know there's a genocide going on? Stop making it all about you." He then tweets out this clip with the caption, "Hasan says he was memeing in his clarification of the Adam Schiff clip."
All these rich commie Democrats that are trying to push socialism and communism on people should have all their stuff taken from them and distributed to people since that's what they want so bad. Interesting stance.
I think liberals by and large,
What's up,
when
OG?
they hear this kind of thing, they're shocked, they're horrified by it. But the increasingly smaller audience of like anti-left liberals on Twitter, they are celebrating. And it's very weird. It almost comes across as like coordinated. Like their messaging has been almost coordinated. I don't know what the fuck that's about. But yeah, they're stupid. They've like gone into the stockpiles and found a video of me literally saying like, you know, Adam Schiff, if Donald Trump goes after him with a sham trial, you know, I don't give a fuck. Okay. And Adam Schiff, I voted for him. Okay. He's my senator. He's literally my senator. Will he actually defend me as his constituent? Probably not. I know for a fact he didn't defend his other constituents that were getting tortured in an Israeli prison when they participated in the Samud flotilla. Adam Schiff.
Violations. Oh my God, Brandon.
I hope they arrest him. Oh my God, I hope he goes to... Like, I'm fucking memeing. But also, I voted for him.
Oh, he was just memeing. Guys, he was just memeing. When he said he hated this guy, he was just memeing.
You know? Oh my God, I hope he goes to prison. Oh, I hate him so much. Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, this is political. Sure, I don't care. Lock him up. Like, I'm doing a Trump voice.
Oh, was that your Trump voice? I missed it.
I'm doing a Trump voice. This is your thing? The same clip, the context you were shit on Trump? Yeah, I know. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Adam Schiff, but I said, you know, if Adam Schiff comes out and defends me and apologizes for not defending other...
It's a pretty good Trump voice. I didn't notice it.
...constituents of his that were trapped in Israeli prisons being tortured when we were asking him to release a statement or to pressure the Israeli government as an American senator, if he apologizes to those people or if he...
Yeah, when he's testifying for a subpoena, I hope he says I was just memeing. Yeah, that's a good defense.
You know, tries to apply pressure to the government, I'll change my calculation. I'll apologize to Adam Schiff. I don't care. Be a very different world that we're living in, you know?
And Technicals replies, he's such a slimy liar. Kaguya's Tom Gal says, lock this dude up, Trump. Lug Madness replies to the clip by saying, how can he have any fans when all he does is lie every time he opens his mouth? Constantly spewing BS and lies daily, but it's probably Israel's fault. I have never seen him take accountability for his actions or the things he says. This is a classic case of narcissism. The girl with a microphone quote tweets it by saying, wow, so Hasan will just throw away his principles and apologize to a Zionist if the Zionist keeps him out of prison? The Measured Take tweets out this clip with the caption, they're not coming after me, they're coming after you. I'm just standing in the way. Hasan didn't just stick to streaming. He put his money where his mouth is and started helping anti-Zionist candidates win elections. And now they're scared.
I didn't just stick to this platform. I'm very pragmatic. And I started working within the ranks of the Democratic Party or within the primary system within the Democratic Party, candidates who are anti-Zionist, candidates who place the interests of the population over the interests of corporate the interests of corporations and the interests of corporate profit. And they started winning. Okay? That is terrifying. That's terrifying for a lot of powerful entities. That's why I keep repeatedly saying the Trump thing, which is that they're not coming after me, they're coming after you. I'm just standing in the way. And it's true.
And Z replies, he's right. They just don't see it right now. And Palki says, the left is always right, just too early. Nick Frank 40 quote tweets the clip by saying, Trump said the same thing, lol. MAGA and the left are exactly alike. And then Palki follows up her post by saying, there's so many people with gotchas like, OMG, isn't that what Trump said? Yeah, he literally said that's why I keep saying the Trump thing. Excellent investigative skills. The Dragon LML quote tweets the clip by saying, you don't have to like Hasan to understand that this is true. The Trump administration is very obviously targeting people who speak out against the US government and the Israeli government. And if you think that's bad, now's the time to speak up. Yeet tweets out this clip saying, Ashley St. Clair posts a TikTok in support of Hasan post a subpoena, and there's copyrighted music, but it's essentially this TikTok with the caption here at the bottom that says, free stupid sexy Hasan, and the Fox News article at the top that says, Fed subpoena Hasan Piker, Medea Benjamin over Cuba trips, and then Ashley St. Clair dancing to the music. And True African Hero replies, neurologists need to study the brain of women like Ashley St. Clair. Hasanabi Productions meme account tweets out, Fox News has now hired reporters to monitor Hasan Piker's Twitch stream all day, and then attaches this tweet with a caption, example of one of their reporters watching the stream, with this clip by Azra Namani, who's recording their screen, and the caption, on Twitch just now, Marxist Hasan Piker makes an important admission. He says American Marxist pro-China tycoon Neville Roy Sigmund has funded a political movement in the US. That's a significant characterization. Piker went to Cuba as part of a convoy organized by nonprofits funded by Singham. As I've reported, Fox News Digital, Singham has pumped $285 million since 2017 into pro-communist nonprofits, including Code Pink, which is also facing Treasury Department scrutiny for possibly violating sanctions against the Communist Party of Cuba. The groups that Singham has funded are 501c3 and 501c4 nonprofits that are not supposed to be part of political movements, but have clearly been politically motivated, supporting candidates protesting administrations, both Dem and Republican policies, and messaging consistently anti-US political positions. Piker claims the goal of a probe into his Cuba trip isn't him, but Singham. He speak about Singham as friends, call him Roy Singham. Then they quote the clip and continue, Piker says Trump administration National Security Advisor Sebastian Gorka is behind the scrutiny. He didn't provide evidence. Follow Fox News for coverage of this issue. Why does it matter? Because these political movements are changing the dynamics in America, promoting the propaganda of America's adversaries.
Right? It's like totally ridiculous to try and you know, to try and stop like the political advocacy of an American citizen, right? Roy Singham is an American citizen. He lives in China now, and he's a centimillionaire. I think he like has almost $1 billion. Not sure how much money he has now, but like he's been a funding vehicle for a lot of like political movements in the country, like a lot of activism, and they hate that. Like the American government hates that. They're trying to jam him up. You know, they're trying to hit him on anything and everything they possibly can. That's it. That's the goal here. That's the broader goal, and it's great from the administration's perspective because I think they get to chill speech, right? They get to say, listen, we will destroy your life if you even think about doing activism against us, right? I mean, it's a much larger goal of the administration, the idea of like counterterrorism initiatives being focused entirely on left movements, you know, solidarity campaigns and the like. It's not new. This is something that they've signaled that
I'm glad you liked it, See the Guy. It was a fun thumbnail to make. How you doing?
they wanted to do. And this is just the next step in line with that agenda.
And Sakiba replies, "This boomer is recording his stream on her phone and trying to make hatch happen, Lamau." Kat replies to the post by saying, "You are too old to be doing this, you weirdo. Imagine being in your 60s and stalking, hate watching, and clipping a streamer." Cuss replies to the clip by saying, "So horny to put out a nothing burger that you don't even have time to screen record." But back to the post by the Hasan Productions meme account talking about reporters monitoring his Twitch stream. Jack Cacciarella quotes the post by saying, "Fox News, thank you for the 20 gifted." Kaguya Gal replies, "I can't think of a worse punishment than listening to this man for more than 5 minutes." Wendy quotes the clip by saying, "Mind you, I'm doing this for free." And Jimmy says, "We are in fact paying to do it." And Wendy says, "Wait, yeah, I'm giving him money." The Surfs quotes the post by saying, "Kind of funny that Pod Save America basically had Obama on speed dial and they never did this." And Yara quotes the clip by saying, "Both conservatives and liberals are terrified of a Twitch streamer on the left because he is gaining momentum. I think it's fine when people don't like Hasan for being kind of a dude bro, but he's doing incredibly important work." Adam Media quotes the post by saying, "The right wing are the censorship movement now. This is anti-American, anti-freedom, totalitarian, and genuinely disgusting. It should terrify you. I wouldn't support this for anyone, but conservatives are outing themselves as bootlicking hypocrites who stand for nothing." Benz quotes the post by saying, "Starting to wonder if maybe making literally everything about Hasan isn't very effective or productive." Socialist Audrey tweets out this clip of Hasan reacting to the post that we read earlier with the caption, "Hasan finds out that the woman who wrote the Fox News article about him is currently watching his stream right now. You're creepy as hell."
What is this person saying? Oh my gosh, he's literally watching the stream. Oh my god, this psycho is literally watching the stream, dude. Oh my lord. Straight up, they got stalkers on the payroll. They have Fox News senior editors that are just now that are now tasked with stalking my stream. Oh my god, I'm gonna accidentally pee on camera. You guys are gonna hear my stream. It's gonna be on Fox News now. It's insane.
And they continue their post by saying, like, "Please."
We should just give love to Fox Girls instead. I agree with that statement. Let's do that. Let's do that.
It don't matter. I don't care if you hate Hasan. You cannot defend this level of stalking, y'all, right? Like, what is this? And Just Jin replies, "Lol, what? What kind of journalist wouldn't watch his shows if she's writing a story about him? Not a very good one." George Altroy says, "It's not stalking. She's an investigative journalist. If watching someone stream to get content on them is stalking, stop getting mad at Trump when he says stuff on television. Stalker." And Azra quote tweets the clip by saying, "The new generation is so unfamiliar with the craft of journalism that they don't understand that watching and studying a person's written and spoken word at every opportunity, especially when the person doesn't respond to a request for an interview, is not creepy, but a critical part of gumshoe reporting, understanding a person's thinking, psychology, and priorities. I can tell you I put 40 hours of reporting and research into writing one story of 1,000 words. It's day 4 since I asked Hasan Piker on Saturday for an interview, but so far he hasn't responded. I know from his live stream he got my voicemail. Hasan, I look forward to talking. A lot of people would like to see you share your views with the millions of people who watch and read Fox News Digital and Fox News, the channel. Please call me back at your convenience or have your team reach out to me. My new young friends, what you're witnessing is something precious called the art and science of journalism. I love it, and you will too." And
I honestly don't understand why he wouldn't accept an interview, you know?
The dirtbag left replies, 40 hours of research only to get his birth.
I mean, I know that his stance is that the Fox News is lying about him, but an interview would help clear whatever he feels is wrong from their perspective, right? And unless they clip the entire interview and make it sound like something it isn't, I don't think he has much to worry about.
Country wrong is pretty impressive. I'm sure you will issue a correction for this as well, correct? Showing this part of the article describing Hasan as a Turkish-born nephew of Cenk Uygur. Nick Matau quotes the post by saying, journalist watches a public stream on person she wrote an article on. Hasan, Audrey here, and people that don't know how journalism works. OMG, what a creep. Then Hasan and Nick Fuentes also went back and forth on Twitter. Asuka Groiper tweets out this clip with the caption, Nick calls out all the anti-Semites who attacked him for saying Hasan should be in prison, instead of siding with him because they think he is anti-Israel.
So I say on Twitter today that we need to put Hasan Piker in jail. And I get all of these anti-Semites saying that I'm Jewish because I want Hasan Piker to be put in prison. They said, well, Laura Loomer said the same thing. Hasan Piker criticizes Israel. And this goes with the whole idea that the solution to our problem is a right-left alliance. You hear this all the time. You say, we need a right-wing, left-wing alliance. We're all going to fight Israel. Let's bring the socialists and the fascists together, and we're all going to put Israel in their place. And I'm just here to tell you that is never going to work. The left. The left are garbage. They are scum, and they want us dead. Don't you understand that? Do you understand that if you go into a left-wing neighborhood as a right-wing person, if they knew you were right-wing, they would try to kill you and your family? Let's not forget,
okay.
Yes, Jewish...
Holy crap! Okay, this is my introduction to Nick Fuentes. Holy crap!
Oligarchy is occupying America, and that is an impediment to America first and American sovereignty. But let us not forget for even 1 second that the far left is a creation of the Jewish oligarchy. People say the Jewish oligarchy is pitting the right and the left against each other. That's wrong. The Jewish oligarchy created the left. There are only conservatives, nationalists, fascists, and maybe liberals. But the far left, communists, progressives, socialists, that's a creation of organized Jewry. What did the far left do in the Soviet Union? It wasn't even the Unionists. It wasn't even the socialists. It was the hardcore Bolsheviks, the vanguardists, the Leninists. They were the ones that went and killed everybody. They were the ones that tried to destroy every nation in the whole world. They tried to do it in Germany, in Italy, in China, in Mongolia. They did it everywhere. And then they exported that into the United States.
And Howling Mutant replies, if the right can't unite overthrowing Hasan and Gitmo, what hope do we have? And Hasan quotes the clip by saying, this dude claimed he was voting Democrat to punish Trump because he was a servant of Israel. Now he's back on the team because the admin is pursuing a critic of Israel, occupation slave. And Fuentes replies, you and your ilk on the left have supported censorship, deplatforming, violence, and political persecution of anti-Semites on the right for years. What goes around comes around, Roach. You should be imprisoned for animal abuse. And Hasan replies, given that you are currently championing the president going after prominent critics of Israel, you must feel comfortable the admin will never come after you. Not shocking to see you, Randy Fine, and Laura Loomer align on this. Even some centrist Democrats agree with you. And Fuentes says, yeah, literally everyone agrees that you should be in prison. What's your point? That it might be the one silver lining about this administration, that at least one genuinely terrible person will face justice. And Chief Trumpster replies to Hasan by saying, it really isn't complicated. You supported the censorship/deplatforming of Nick Fuentes and others, and now that it is coming your way, you expect him to come to your defense? Yul replies to Fuentes by saying, no, he shouldn't. Also, if they put him in, you're next to go too. Shout out to our tier 3 members, internet representatives, Kiko, Salsal, Coldest Bandito, Captain Crash, out of Dearboy, Noobster, and Mr. X. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you all in the next episode.
Oh my goodness, that was quite something, wasn't it? I think we went way beyond the subpoena, but all right. Anyway, so this is the response from the Young Turks, which, correct me if I'm wrong, Hasan is associated to that, right? Like his dad or something? Let me check. Hasan. Hasan Piker is a prominent progressive political commentator, streamer, and former host and producer for the program. Okay, wait. Hasan's uncle is one of the hosts. How long until she... What happened? Oh, I froze. Okay. Let's do that. And then this. Okay, so his family is associated to this news network. They call it the Progressive News Network. Okay. Let's see what they have to say about it. They say that on the thumbnail that Fox News lied about Hasan Piker. So let's see.
Not gonna lie to you guys. It's not great. The news is not great. Okay. I mean, it's bull, but still not great that, you know, they're after your boy. They're up my ass.
Some might argue that Hasan Piker's biggest crime is it appears he's borrowing his uncle's jacket, but no, it's not Cenk Uyghur's jacket. What Haas is worried about here is a Fox News report that erroneously claimed that Hasan Piker and the Code Pink co-founder Medea Benjamin had been served with federal subpoenas over a recent trip they took to Cuba for humanitarian purposes, which we'll get into in just a minute. But Cenk, has your nephew been served with a federal subpoena?
No, not yet. So we're gonna find out if Fox News is doing.
Okay, so this is the uncle. Okay.
This on purpose, and what exactly is that purpose? I have a theory as to why they put out this story when they did, and then there's a surprising twist here with a Democrat attacking Hasan that you might not have expected. So I'm looking forward to that part of the story as well.
So let's get.
Did they start the Young Turks when he was younger? Or I'm just kidding.
Get into what Fox News Digital reported, right? And again, I say erroneously because both Medea Benjamin and Hasan Piker have said that they have not been officially served with any subpoena. But nonetheless, Fox News reported that federal officials have served subpoenas to political influencer Hasan Piker and Code Pink co-founder Susan Medea Benjamin as part of a wider investigation into whether US organizations and leaders violated US laws and sanctions in supporting Cuba's communist regime. Piker and Benjamin are among those caught in a federal inquiry into whether activists who traveled to Cuba in March violated US sanctions laws through the financing, coordination, or delivery of goods to Cuba, including potential contacts with Cuban government personnel or entities on the island. Now, before I continue, let me just note, if you are a reporter, a journalist, you are able to go to Cuba, yes, even as an American citizen, to cover what's happening in Cuba. There are sanctioned hotels that are run by the Cuban government, which is why they are listed as hotels you're not allowed to stay in if you do go to Cuba. But interestingly enough, Medea Benjamin, who has actually done this before, and Hasan Piker didn't stay at a sanctioned hotel. There was a claim by some random person on X that they did stay at a sanctioned hotel. And apparently people just ran with it as if it's the truth without actually looking into it. So they were allegedly served administrative subpoenas, which again, erroneous, like they weren't served anything yet, they might be. But the administrative subpoenas are known as requests for information by the Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control. As Newsweek reports, U.S. sanctions on Cuba, mainly under the Cuban Assets Control regulations, prohibit most economic dealings with U.S. citizens with Cuba unless licensed, with some exceptions for journalism, humanitarian projects, educational programs, and activities to support the Cuban people. God forbid we support the Cuban people that the US government is intentionally starving to death. And now during his live stream yesterday, Haas stated everything had originally been cleared by the United States Treasury. However, both Hasan and Benjamin have both stated that they have not been physically served. I just want to repeat that again. Let's take a look at the video.
On the other hand, got a text message, or rather a voicemail, from a Fox News producer saying that I had been subpoenaed by the federal government. And I was like, that's strange. Asking for comment. And before I could even respond, an article materialized on the timeline.
I talked to both of them. Neither has been subpoenaed. And so the Fox News report is just factually incorrect. Like, if you're going to subpoena somebody, you subpoena them.
Right, so you have not been served by the federal government. They have not been served by the federal government.
I should note that Ryan Grimm also went on this trip. He wasn't mentioned at all in Fox News's erroneous reporting. However, I just want to note a few other things about the convoy that was part of this humanitarian mission. It's named Nuestra America Convoy. And apparently the Cuban government gave the convoy its blessing in delivering humanitarian aid. But why is our government concerned? What is this really about? So some of the organizations who were leaders of the convoy were part of something known as the Signam Network, which is led by Neville Roy Signam or Sigam. I don't know anything about this person, but according to Fox News Digital, they're claiming that Sigham has pumped $278 million into nonprofit groups that have pushed pro-China, pro-Cuba, anti-US narratives and street protests for almost a decade.
The anti-US narratives, they keep repeating that, right? It feels so subjective, anti-US. Like what you think is anti-US, the other person's gonna think is pro-US because they think it's a better path for the US to take. It doesn't say much when they use that term.
Since his marriage in February 2017 to Code Pink co-founder Jody Evans, who is also being investigated for her role in the March trip, Code Pink received $1.33 million from this organization after he married Evans. Now that's Fox Digital reporting that, and you should take it with a grain of salt because again, they erroneously reported that the federal government already subpoenaed Medea Benjamin and Hasan Piker when that's obviously not true. So
yeah, so I wouldn't.
Because for me, saying if you say that something is anti-US, I would say that you're probably having very hateful speech, saying that Americans suck or Americans can like, you know, something bad should happen to them. But anti-US, in the way that they're using that term, is simply saying that you support another country or that you support the efforts of an organization or, you know, whatever it may be. That is already considered anti-US. You know?
Believe a word of what they're writing because they're not journalists. It's over the top absurdity. So in fact, I'm going to prove that to you. In the middle of this serious article about sanctions being violated that we're all Americans are so concerned about, literally no Americans are concerned about it. And when Nick Shirley did it, no Americans were concerned about it. And he actually did it. Okay.
Nick Shirley actually stayed at a sanctioned Cuban hotel.
Okay. So, oops, but no, Fox News wasn't concerned about that. But in the midst of this theoretically serious article, then they get into this super long paragraph. I'll only read half of it to you. Fox News Digital recently observed Piker outside his Los Angeles home, escorting his dog Kaya. Oh no, this seems very important.
Yo, thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate that. Thank you, Pete. Let me do the math. Gonna be adding 15 points. Ta-da! Thank you. We're at 280.
Outside the house for a bathroom break early one morning, Now we're talking about his dog's bathroom breaks. They continue. Kaya, a large breed dog that is a mix of Tibetan Mastiff, Chow Chow, and St. Bernard. Why do we care? Why is this in the story? This is insanity, right? So I'm going to tell you the purposes behind this article after I'm done with this.
Did Laura Loomer eat Hasan Piker's dog food? Asking for a friend. I mean, that should be investigated. I heard the bitch really loves dog food.
So apparently Trump is calling for unity after another violent incident. And of course, depending on where you get your news, that story gets framed in completely different ways.
Crazy.
You can compare headlines covering it all. At one moment, Piker silently stood over Kaya and gestured with a finger for her to return to the house after relieving herself. Why is this in a news article? This is so ludicrous.
Is there a Vix shock collar tier? What an insanely wild question. Oh my God.
Hey, go back in, he said. Okay, and then lastly, later, Kaya was observed being walked and driven by a woman leaving Piker's home. Why do we need to play-by-play on what Kaya did while relieving himself?
This is psychotic.
Or herself, okay, it's psychotic.
Asra Nomani, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
You wrote you wrote this, like, what are you doing with your life? Did you sit outside of his place?
Yes,
to watch?
she has pictures.
That's psycho. That's that's psycho behavior.
A little personal thing here. The next day, my daughter and my sister and my mom were set to go to Haas's house. My daughter had baked cookies and they were gonna do so. Haas wasn't even there. They were just, we're gonna watch a movie and stuff. And they had to plan around whether a psychotic journalist was going to pop out of the bushes and take notes on people's bathroom breaks.
Psychos.
Like, it's insanity, right? Okay, so what is the purpose behind this weird attack on a thing that hasn't even happened? So number one, you smear Hasan in every way you can, and Code Pink, but they're both opposed to Israel, so they must be smeared. This has nothing to do with Cuba. Nobody in Fox News Digital cares about Cuba. Nobody cares about Cuba in the country. I wish they did, because we're starving the Cubans. So wait, the people who are guilty were the ones who were open-hearted enough to go try to help starving Cubans. And they're the bad guys? Because you tried to search for a technicality against them that hasn't been applied in like decades and couldn't even find one, right? So you got to smear them because they're good people who need to be destroyed and have their character assassinated. Number two, it's intimidation.
100%.
We're going, hey, we're buying your house. We're looking at you at all times.
Totally,
Okay.
that's why.
And you better not have your cousin come over or your grandmother or your mom or whoever, because we're watching you at all times. If you oppose Israel, I meant Cuba, right?
You can come watch me walk my dog, bitch.
Yeah.
Any day.
So
all day.
But there's a third reason, guys, and this is the important one. No, by the way, do not do that. You will be, be careful. Okay, Anna's not playing. Okay, anyways, so the third reason is testing the waters.
You'll be what?
What if we start taking political
What was he? Was he like threatening? What happened there?
prisoners? Will there be a lot of pushback or only a little pushback? And you know what we can start with? The Code Pink ladies, who everyone in mainstream media makes fun of all the time. Look at them, they're in favor of war. Let's call them anti-Semites, like half of them are Jewish. But anyway, they're like, it doesn't matter. Let's destroy them, let's destroy their character. They want peace, right? So, some of them have money. Oh, well, you didn't notice all the AIPAC money, but you're noticing money that Code Pink has? Maybe, theoretically, through marriage?
Thugs.
Oh, come on.
Total thugs.
Come on. Oh, where is the Israeli lobby money? I don't know, I've never written about it. It's over $1 billion, I can't find it. Where's Kaya? Okay, anyways, and then, and then the second target is Haas. And they're like, well, remember, a lot of the right wing hate him, so he's a good place to start. So now we've lost a lot of our base, they're thinking, because they now also hate Israel. If we go with someone that is more liked on the right, then you could have people rallying, right, around them. We don't want them rallying. So let's take a guy like Hasan, who's, that a lot of the right wing hate and some independents don't like, isolate him and just see if we can make him a political prisoner and see if anyone objects. And if they don't object to Code Pink and Hasan, then we'll move on to Cenk and Anna, we'll move on to Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tom Massey. We'll just keep taking political prisoners. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant about Cuba, wink, okay. So, and I'm just gonna note the irony here that a rando Democratic candidate like a week ago said something about imprisoning Zionists who are actively Israeli assets and breaking the law by working with the Israeli government. And all of national media freaked out. Oh my God, they might imprison Zionists who are working, who in that case would be working for a foreign company. Anyway, we don't want that. That's just a rando, and they made a giant deal out of it, right? Now, that's theoretical from a candidate that hasn't won.
Yeah.
This is real.
Yep.
They're gonna take political prisoners of people who are trying to feed starving human beings, and nobody flips out. Mainstream media hasn't said a word about it other than Hasan Piker is a misogynist, anti-Semite, disqualify him, right? So what, aren't you outraged that anti-Zionists might be imprisoned? And by the way, including Jewish Americans who are for peace. Aren't you outraged by that? Nope, don't care at all. Don't care at all, right? So, but you didn't have to test the waters on that. Mainstream media would love it if they took political prisoners on behalf of Israel, because mainstream media works for Israel. So they'll find a reason. Oh, they were terrorists trying to feed starving people. Really? Are we gonna really write that? What, write about Kaya? Oh, okay, yeah, and Kaya took the wrong kind of pee break.
Dude. Psycho, total psycho behavior.
Yeah, and by the way, if you're testing the waters, I will go on every show. It doesn't matter that it's my nephew. I would do it for anyone. Okay?
Yeah, same.
I will go on every right-wing show.
I don't even like your nephew. I will also do the same.
I will go on every right-wing show, every left-wing show. I will go on every independent show and scream from the rooftops about how Israel is taking political prisoners inside this country, because that would be a fact. And if you do it, okay, let's see. Maybe you're right. Maybe all of America is neutered, and we're gonna surrender to the Israelis. We're not gonna mind you putting us in prison for criticizing a foreign, disgusting terrorist government, right? But my guess is.
All right, cool. Then we have a 6-minute video from Legal Mindset, sort of like summarizing the situation with a subpoena. I don't even like your nephew, right? It's like, it's trying to confirm that there's something there to be said, and you would know because she doesn't even like him.
Hasan Piker is now under federal investigation, and this time the penalties can be very serious. We're gonna today on The Legal Mindset, we teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney. Now, Hasan Piker is no stranger to controversy and potentially filming his crimes live.
Kaya, please just stop.
Now, this time it's not for Gate, but this time it's for something serious, as the Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control, or OFAC, is probing into his participation in a March 2026 activist trip to Cuba. He was part of the Nuestra America convoy, which was deemed as a humanitarian aid convoy, but involved many activists, many of which, in fact, advocate for violating U.S. law.
We're here with Morid, and he is a Palestinian currently studying for free.
Here in Palestine and Cuba, things are all too similar. Both our peoples are living the same thing because of the same enemy. I am ready to be on the battlefield for my people, to support them on the front lines.
And the alleged issue says, essentially boils down to, did he violate official U.S. sanctions in his trip to Cuba? Now, we're going to get into those very specific and very, very serious allegations. But first, I have a very important message.
Recently, a jury ordered Meta and their apps could contribute body image issues. Those decisions
play here in
potential recovery of over $1,000.
Okay, so the laws that are at play here involve whether or not he was dealing in transactions that are prohibited with Cuba. So that could be financing, coordinating, or delivering goods he shouldn't have, staying at or transacting with Cuban government-owned or controlled entities. There's a list of hotels that are prohibited and where you cannot stay in Cuba. There's also other things you're not supposed to be doing while you're there. And the problem with Hasan and many live streamers is that they want to openly brag about committing crimes. In fact, Hasan Piker has encourage people to commit theft.
I'm pro stealing from big corporations. Yeah, no, I'm pro piracy all the way, like across the board. We gotta get back to cool crimes like that, like bank robberies. Chaos, full chaos. Let's go. I mean, look.
So what OFAC has done here is they've requested information. So they've sought out more information to do a review of this activist trip and any particular foreign influence or sanctions evasion that might have. Now, while there are no criminal charges yet, the penalties for this can be very serious, and Hasan Piker indeed is scared.
Is not great. Okay? They're after your boy. We will free you, brother. Yeah, free me. Free me. Free me. I can't believe I'm saying that.
So the potential penalties here can actually stack up. This is under the Cuban Assets Controls and Regulations Act, which is enforced via the International Emergency Economics Power Act, the IEEPA. So there's two sides to this, a civil side and a criminal side. On the civil side, the penalties can be up to $91,000 per violation. So the issue is here, if you go on one of these trips, let's say you're out there on a long trip and you're doing multiple things, especially if you're live streaming, once again, being your own star witness, you might violate several of these provisions. So maybe you're bringing in or transacting with goods you're not supposed to bring in or you're not supposed to buy. Maybe you're staying at a hotel you're not supposed to stay at, or something that's linked to the Cuban government and prohibited. So you may have multiple transactions, so that 91K can stack up against you. And that is indeed the lowest level. But on the highest level, for willfully doing these things, for going out and saying, yep, I did it, who cares, so what, and bragging about it, which many of these influencers actually go out and do, you can have fines for up to $1 million on the corporate side. For most individuals, about $250,000, $250K on the individual side. But you can also face imprisonment for up to 10 years. So there is actual real prison time that can be behind willful violations. Now, it's very clear that this has not been pressed yet, but it's still on the table. Now, in practical cases, when we look at these things, most of these violations for first-timers or non-egregious offenses are typically civil penalties. So they'll typically slap them with some sort of fine. So it might be a 10, 20, 30, 40K fine. Once again, up to 91K. These things can add up. Hasan Piker's got money, but if you hit him with a couple of these, I mean, that's a dent in his Labubu budget. Now, we're going to see where this actually plays out, but where I see this happening and being a problem with Piker, whether or not he gets into any problem here, is to look at his pattern of behavior of encouraging criminality, encouraging breaking the law. It's only a matter of a time till somebody is motivated enough to get him on camera saying something and actually punish him. He's gotten away with many of his crimes because they've been local crimes. The local California PD is not that motivated. Many of them are probably politically aligned with Piker, so they might agree with him on other issues and therefore not want to prosecute him. So he's gotten away with a lot, but the feds are not necessarily going to fall into that camp, and they might look at this and say, no, this is an on-your-face violation here, and actually hold him to task. And I cannot wait till the day comes that Hasan Piker actually reaps some of what he's sown, because once again, he has openly encouraged criminality time and time again. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will catch you.
Okay, so now we're going to see his reaction. Do we have time for that one? So this was his initial reaction when he got subpoenaed.
In Germany, they came first for the communists. And I didn't speak up because I wasn't a communist.
Maybe some of you are unfamiliar with what's going on, and maybe many of you are completely aware of what's going on. But yeah, last night I ended the broadcast. I was tired, and I thought, oh, I'll just go to bed. But I, on the other hand, got a text message, or rather a voicemail, from a Fox News producer saying that I had been subpoenaed by the federal government. And I was like, that's strange, asking for comment. And before I could even respond to the journalist, an article materialized on the timeline. But let's just say that kind of fucked my whole night up. I mean, it's bullshit, but still not great that they're after your boy. They're up my ass. Great timing. The timing since the interview yesterday is crazy, though. Yeah, I saw a lot of like weird suspicions that, you know, oh, this is because of Elon Musk. Guys, that's not how this works. Getting a subpoena from the federal government, that takes time. It's an administrative warrant, not dissimilar to the ones that ICE uses. So there's technically no real authority backing it, from what I understand. But we'll obviously, I haven't gotten anything yet, so I don't know. I don't know anything. This is a long-term process. So this is not new. No, it's not a congressional subpoena. It's from the DOJ and the Treasury. Hope you're lawyered up. Yes, I'll get lawyered up. Don't worry. Do not talk about what's going on before talking to a lawyer. I mean, there's nothing I have not had anything happen to me yet. Like, technically, nothing has happened to me. It's just Fox News is saying things are happening to me. And it's not like there's anything that I've done. But the unfortunate reality here is you don't really have to do anything for this government to decide that they want to do something with you. Let's get started. So I'm hit in the face with this text message, or this voicemail rather, from Fox News producer, and it's a little bit alarming. It's a little bit shocking. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what do you? I'm a little bit confused, because I'm like, why does Fox News know about something that apparently is going on in my life that I didn't know about, right? Yeah, the very same reason why Fox News got this story before anyone else, and the very same reason why the suspicions within the subpoena, according to Fox News, are ridiculous, is because this is very clearly another intimidation tactic from the American government. It is a way to silence dissent. It's a way to actively tie up activists, dissidents alike. It's a way to try to have a chilling effect on speech. And some people, it seems, some likely and some unlikely people, have been cheering it on. Fox News, federal officials have served subpoenas to Marxist political influencer Hasan Piker and Code Pink co-founder Susan Medea Benjamin as a part of a wider investigation into whether U.S. organizations and leaders violated U.S. laws and sanctions in supporting Cuba's communist regime. Fox News Digital has learned. Now, very clearly, they leaked this story to Fox News ahead of time because it's an intimidation operation. It's not a serious investigation into serious misconduct or anything. It's just a way to prod and intimidate and tie people up with paperwork in a costly legal battle. In any case, Fed subpoena Hasan Piker, Medea Benjamin over Cuba trips. Investigation part of a broader dragnet involving as many 40 American citizens who joined Marxist convoy to Havana. First on Fox, breaking news. Federal officials have served subpoenas to Marxist political influencer Hasan Piker and co-pick co-founder Susan Medea Benjamin as a part of a wider investigation into whether U.S. organizations and leaders violated U.S. laws and sanctions in supporting Cuba's communist regime. Fox News Digital has learned. Piker and Benjamin are among those caught in a federal inquiry into whether activists who traveled to Cuba in March violated U.S. sanctions laws through the financing, coordination, or delivery of goods to Cuba, including potential contacts with the Cuban government personnel or entities on the island. The administrative subpoenas were sent to the pair by the Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control. So not only were we OFAC compliant, but I'm also doubly protected because I didn't just go to Cuba on a humanitarian aid trip. I went to Cuba with a journalism visa. So I actually got a press visa from the Cuban government as well. This is not only an attack against, activists and people who want to do humanitarian aid work to countries that the United States of America is starving. But beyond that, I was there to interview people. I interviewed regular Cubans and ordinary Cubans in Cuban society. I interviewed doctors, and I also interviewed government officials. And not only is this not illegal, but it's also out there, It's not a secret. If you go to my YouTube page right now, you can see it. It's actually right here. I went to Cuba. This is what I saw, mini doc. I pretty much filmed everything that I did there. And I put it into this mini doc. Here I am interviewing the foreign minister. This is not illegal. This is actually very legal. So kind of strange. Also, one of the things that they brought up is really funny. The administrative subpoenas called Requests for Information, or RFI, seek financial, logistical, and communications information revolving around the trips the two widely bragged about making to the island nation in March with the delegations of the Nuestra America Convoy, or Our America Convoy, from a global network of communist sympathizers, activists, and influencers who brought supplies to the country's ruling Communist Party of Cuba, according to the sources familiar with the matter. The investigation is part of a broader effort by officials at the Treasury, State, and Justice Departments to curb malign foreign influence operations inside the United States, particularly activities tied to support for political violence, extremist movements, or acts the U.S. government classifies as terrorism. The scrutiny reflects growing concern among federal authorities and lawmakers over whether foreign actors and aligned organizations are attempting to shape American political discourse, mobilize activists, and sow discord and normalize rhetoric that could encourage violence or undermine U.S. national security interests. Ken Klippenstein believes that this is a tie into the NSPM7, the whole counterterrorism initiative that they have. According to the American government, it's actually terrorism to be anti-fascist. It's terrorism to be anti-capitalist. And now I guess it's terrorism to send humanitarian aid, to deliver humanitarian aid to an island nation that we have starved and caused tremendous suffering to. Incredible. I mean, what can you say? It's just pure evil, I guess. According to a Fox News digital investigation, Singham has pumped $278 million into nonprofit groups that have pushed pro-China, pro-Cuba, anti-U.S. narratives and street protests for almost a decade since his marriage in February 2017 to Code Pink co-founder Jody Evans, who's also being investigated for her role in the March trip. Code Pink received $1.3 million from Singham after he married Evans. This is Jody Evans, who I took a photo with. They love this photo for some reason. I don't know why. She's one of the co-founders of Code Pink. She's wonderful. Like all of this investigation, at least the high notes, make it seem like they just saw stuff on like New York Post and on Twitter and were like, oh, this must be valid. In mid-March, organizations in the Singham Network, from the Venceremos Brigade to People's Forum, a hub for communist cause in New York City, were leaders of the Nuestra American Convoy, which included an estimated 650 delegates from 33 countries and 120 organizations. The organizations included Democratic Socialists of America, a U.S. nonprofit that promotes Piker as a headline member. By the way, that's so funny. The DSA does not promote me as a headline member, but, f it. We ball. The investigation of the Office of Foreign Assets Control is part of a broader dragnet that includes as many as 40 American citizens who joined foreign nationals, including a controversial Brazil activist, Tiago Avia, who are part of a global network of anti-U.S. Marxist, communist, and socialist. Additional subpoenas are expected. The administrative subpoenas mark a serious escalation by the Trump administration against a far-left nonprofit activist network that has spent years defending communist regimes from Cuba to China, while presenting its work as humanitarian aid, anti-war organizing, and solidarity with people oppressed by the imperialist U.S. colonial power. Yeah, because that's what it is. It's an anti-war initiative. Code Pink is an anti-war initiative, an anti-war movement that wants to stop American wars. There's more, though. The story gets even dumber. As reported, a Fox News digital investigation has identified 145 U.S. nonprofits and activist groups with $1 billion in collective revenues that Justice and Treasury Department officials are investigating as a part of a wider influence campaign by Cuba's communist regime and foreign actors. First of all, Cuba doesn't even have $1 billion. This is why it's insane, but also kind of funny in a weird way whenever people are like, oh, I bet you're getting paid by the Cuban government. Bro, they don't have money. With what money? You think they got money? It's one of those things where I can't tell if people are just like so used to only at advancing causes for monetary reasons. Like they just can't possibly fathom the idea that someone would want to genuinely help the Cuban population, genuinely demand that we stop, killing Cubans with our economic terrorism, right? Like what money do they have to give me money? You know what I mean? It's very stupid. According to public statements, it's believed that delegation members stayed at a hotel the U.S. State Department has put on a Cuba restricted list. Oh, this is what's really funny. This is not a part of the subpoena, I don't think. This journalist is just adding this on. I haven't received the subpoena yet, so I have no idea. But let me tell you why. Because that's not real. We didn't actually stay at the wrong hotel. That was just something that people made up on Twitter, except for an American citizen who recently did violate OFAC and stayed at a hotel that America does not allow American citizens to stay in.
So all Cubans are just poor, the whole country? They are just one big humanitarian play. I'd like to know more about why the hotels are restricted, espionage perhaps. So from what I understand, the hotels from the restricted list are associated to Cuba's communist regime, from what I understand, or at least from their perspective. That's how they put the list together.
It wasn't me, though. It was Nick Shirley. Literally, the hotel that Nick Shirley was in was actually on the state sponsor of terrorism list. We obviously didn't stay at a hotel that we obviously didn't stay at a fucking hotel that the American government has made illegal to stay in. Nick Shirley, on the other hand, whether because he's a idiot or because, it doesn't really matter what he does because he's basically an agent for the state, did stay in a hotel that was illegal for him to stay in. I personally think it's idiotic. You should be able to stay in whatever fucking hotel you want to, by the way. I think it's a totally ridiculous restriction imposed upon Americans, and Americans only, mind you. It's hilarious that the mouth-breathing rightoid accidentally violated U.S. Treasury rules, yet they're targeting the scary Marxists for literally following the law. Yeah. But yeah, if this is the investigation, that's hilarious. This is just like headline chasing. The federal government got clickbaited by Twitter headlines. Federal government targeting people because they mobilize activists, sow discord, and normalize rhetoric, as suggested here, would be a blatant violation of the First Amendment. So yeah, not only is this this is very clearly a First Amendment violation, and I don't know if this is the one that breaks the dam, where they just like try to figure out trumped up charges to like actively prosecute people who've done nothing wrong, mind you, but they just do this to finally tackle the First Amendment. I don't know. When's the court date? I don't know anything. I don't know anything because I have not received a subpoena. There is no information that I have received.
My iPhone has given up. It's too hot in here.
Wasn't most of what you did? Yes, everything we did in Cuba was cleared with the State Department, or not the State Department, the Treasury. This is also coming from that very same regulatory body. This is coming from the Treasury. Treasury is the one that handles sanctions, ridiculous or not. The whole point of this is to get this article out there and to basically tell people like, oh, you got some
It's not that hot. My iPhone is just very sensitive.
opinions about the Trump administration. Oh, you wanna aid the starving children that we are starving? The Trump administration is starving? Well, that's illegal now. Okay, we're gonna make that illegal, or at least we're gonna try to make that illegal. The whole point of this is to leak this to Fox News ahead of time to start the process of threatening people. U.S. law imposes broad restrictions on financial transactions involving Cuba, primarily through the Cuban Asset Control Regulations, administered by the Office of Foreign Assets Control. Those rules generally prohibit unlicensed travel-related transactions and exports of goods or services to Cuba, with limited exceptions for journalism, humanitarian projects, and educational programs and certain activities meant to support the Cuban people. Again, did they sneak taking these photos of you? Yes. I talked to some people, and I suspect that they got creep shots of me in the morning as Kaya was peeing before I go to the gym. And then they also got they got creep shots of someone who works with me as well, which was really fucking annoying. That means that they just parked outside my house all the way back in motherfucking January, like months ago, and have just been taking photos of me, which is definitely weird. It's a violation of my privacy, but, it is what it is. Fox News Digital recently observed Piker outside his Los Angeles home, escorting his dog Kaya outside of the house for a bathroom break early one morning. Kaya, a large breed dog that is a mix of Tibetan Mastiff, Chow Chow, and St. Bernard, has been the beloved subject of an online campaign dubbed Free Kaya over allegations Piker trained Kaya with a shock collar that transmits painful stimuli as a part of behavioral training. At one moment, Piker silently stood over Kaya, gestured with a finger for her to return to the house after relieving herself. Later, Kaya was observed being walked and driven by a woman leaving Piker's home. This is insane, right? Once again, this proves many different things that I have been saying conclusively, which is that Kaya goes on walks while I'm streaming. And it's really funny that people just wouldn't believe me at all. And now there is this, it's in the paper. I like that they are framing this as like something sinister where I pointed to the house. Benjamin has made her mark as an activist gadfly who stages media spectacles at congressional hearings, defense industry trade conferences, and the homes of government officials, yelling in invectives, chants, and slogans, branding herself as anti-war, but actually running a pattern of messages denouncing the U.S. and uplifting communist and authoritarian regimes of the Islamic Republic of Iran and the Chinese Communist Party and the Communist Party of China, Communist Party of Cuba. Fox News Digital recently observed Benjamin outside her colorful home in Washington, D.C. with her partner and fellow activist, T.Gay Berry, who accompanied her on the trip to Havana. Someone also noticed the creep shots disprove that you use a shock collar. It doesn't, guys. This has been discussed a million times over and over and over again. Yes. Not only does Kaya get numerous walks, but yes, she doesn't have a shock collar. It doesn't even matter. You think my haters give a shit? It was never about the truth. Anyway, Piker's been criticized as saying America deserved 9/11, a remark he later said it was poorly phrased, and for past comments about Representative Dan Crenshaw, Navy SEAL veteran who lost an eye in Afghanistan. More recently, critics, including Representative Richie Torres, by the way, shouts out to all the Democrats who are up my ass and have been up my ass, the Israel First Democrats. Thank you. You are giving ample, you're giving ample permission. You're giving ample permission to the fascists that want to take away not just my rights, but your rights as well. So see you in the camps, I guess. You know? More recently, critics, including Representative Richie Torres, have accused Piker of amplifying anti-Semitic rhetoric after October 7, while Piker has denied anti-Semitism and said his criticism is aimed at Israel, not Jews. Piker, Benjamin, Singham, Evans, and Code Pink did not respond to requests for comment. Yeah, it's because you literally sent me a request for comment and then immediately published. Not to say that I would probably give Fox News a comment anyway, but according to sources, the Office of Foreign Assets Control is also investigating Code Pink's DC coordinator, Olivia DiNucci, a former Division I basketball star from Emerson College in Boston. Her unassuming girl-next-door persona often gains her entry into coveted spaces, and then she disrupts with loud theatrics. She joined a convoy led by the Brazilian activist Avila. A lot of this, by the way, does still have a lot to do with Israel. It's not just about Cuba, but it's also about Israel as well. Yeah. The Office of Foreign Assets Control can impose civil penalties under a strict liability standard, meaning the government does not have to prove intent. The Justice Department, by contrast, generally must show that a defendant willfully violated the law in a criminal case, often through evidence of concealment, evasion, or knowing participation in prohibited transactions. In a long live stream on Saturday, Piker interviewed another influencer, Ashley St. Clair, about having a baby with billionaire Elon Musk, railed against Trump, defended the communist leaders of Cuba, and Free Associated about other topics in the news, including a shooting outside the White House, decrying the chaos in America. It's terrifying, he said. So you know how you said once they come for you that we're cooked? Does this mean we are now in fact cooked? We'll see. But the author is a psycho, it seems. Democratic Socialists use the rose in their graphics, branding, and protest signs, symbol of their ideological belief. Let me break it down. Hasan Piker is one of the most prominent members of the Democratic Socialists of America. First of all, not a member. Not an official member, at least. Maybe an honorary one, but not an official one. But fine, whatever. I've long maintained the position that I am, org agnostic, although I love the Democratic Socialists of America the most, for sure. A DSA political candidate, Oliver Larkin, expressed support for Hasan Piker and Medea Benjamin in the face of subpoenas from Treasury Department from their March trip to Cuba in possible violation of sanctions. Cuba is a one-party state, the Communist Party of Cuba, Partido Comunista de Cuba, PCC, the only political party in Cuba. Democratic Socialists of America is a key member of the transnational network backing the Communist Party of Cuba. So do you guys see what's going on here? They're trying to get everyone tied up. Like they're trying to get every left activism network in this country, like all matter of activism, whether it be socialist, whether it be anti-capitalist, all this stuff. What is she said? Hashtag free Kaya. Hello, Hasan the Hun. Surrender your ego and accept one of these offers for a new home for Kaya. You curse at her all the time. You were clearly frustrated with Kaya. She isn't a potted plant. Let her live. This is a Fox News reporter, dude. This is the Fox News reporter that wrote this article. That's incredible. That's so crazy. She isn't a potted plant. Let her live as a dog, free to roam, a home, move, run, meander. Hashtag free Kaya. Ironic because her literal reporting, if you can call it that, shows that she is meandering and going on walks and going to parks and it's genuinely insane. She's reposting OC 2000. Indeed, Hasan Piker has drawn the attention of federal authorities for possibly aiding and abetting a communist regime. Then he has drawn the ire of dog lovers for allegedly using a shock collar on his cute dog Kaya. It's a public service to draw attention to both issues. It's unbelievable, dude. What a
yeah. Oh, wait. That's all the time we have for this today. Honestly, judging by Today, I might not do a Hasan Piker deep dive. I think in terms of commentary, I can probably contribute to other personalities better than this guy. But nonetheless, he's interesting. It's just so political. And it's honestly also depressing. And he's a lot. So I might not do a deep dive on this guy, but it's interesting to know what's going on right now, and I do want to follow that to see what happens. Guys, we actually got another 2 hours guaranteed for tomorrow, which means tomorrow at the same time, I'll be live with a different topic, and we have at least 2 hours tomorrow to see if we can get even further and maybe unlock another stream for Friday, but we'll see tomorrow how that goes. We are at 280 out of 2,000. Our next milestone guarantees a horror stream, which is a gaming stream. And then we have plenty of more milestones to go through. A lot of really exciting ones. Today, we unlocked the merch, which I believe I still have here. We unlocked the merch design, which is now live over on the Fourth Wall merch store. So you guys can go and get a t-shirt with the new design, as well as a hoodie. Link to the store. Oh yeah, very good idea. Very good idea. Let's do that. Here's a link to the store. You'll see it everywhere else as well. I'm pretty sure I have it on my profile here on YouTube, on my Twitter, on my Twitch and everything. Now, the way that this is gonna work is that we have another stream later today at 6 p.m. EST for the gaming channel, which will be both on YouTube and on Twitch, not on this channel, but the gaming channel, iVixey Plays. If you don't know about it yet, we're going to be playing Paralives today, which is a new, like, Sims sort of game. And it's still in early access. We're going to be trying that out later. And again, we have 2 hours, which are separate from these 2 hours, to try to get another stream unlocked for tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you guys so much for the support today. It was amazing. That's definitely a very good start.
Rupa, can I ask you a question?
Yo.
Did he make you come?
No.
Was this a shocking stream? Shocking. Shocking. I would say so. I would say so. Poor Kaya. We're going to keep this, we're going to wrap it up here, and I'll see you guys later for the gaming channel in about 2 hours, actually in exactly 2 hours. We're going to be playing Paralives, and then tomorrow, at the same time, again, for the commentary stream, we have at least 2 hours to get through, and 18 minutes. I guess, imagine if we were not to add any more time to the timer tomorrow, then that means I have to go live on Friday with 18 minutes left on the countdown. So, we'll see how that goes. Thank you guys so much again for today. A lot of gifted memberships was absolutely amazing. Thank you everyone for that. You guys have been so sweet. And I'll see you guys later. Don't forget, we also have the Discord. I have been scheduling all the different streams on there, so you guys get notified on the Discord if you're, if you keep an eye out for the events happening at the top. So keep that in mind, because not everyone gets notified. Apparently, you guys did not get notified for this stream today over here on YouTube. So, all right, guys, the gaming stream sounds much better than Hasan. Yeah, and then we're gonna probably leave the Hasan topic for another time. We're not going to continue the rabbit hole. All right, guys, have a good rest of your night if I don't see you. I'll see you again tomorrow for more commentary. Let's see if we have someone to redirect to. I know that Buff Weeb is doing a birthday stream. That's probably where we're going to go to. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!